All right, y'all. Joe Walks, also I guess today known as Joe Talks, here in stop number 3 or 4. Last stop we were actually in South Dakota, Rapid City. We are now in Custer. Well, actually no. Now we are in Black Hills State Forest, National Forest actually. We're in a dispersed campground, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the Chicago Bears. There's a cross track. I don't care if anybody sees my license plate either. I drive around every day. Don't care. Yeah, so Chicago Bears going to possibly Hammond, Indiana. Brian, you know who you are. I might owe you some money. I don't know. But anyway, let's just talk about how stupid it is, in my opinion, because I know there's some people out there who'd be like, oh, I'm part of this fan base too, and I live in Indiana. Well, you know what? Don't care about you. Well, I do. Bear down. But you gotta understand, like, keeping a stadium in the city isn't only good for the city, it's good for the people supporting the fan base. For instance, I did some numbers on Apple Maps, because I am an Apple Maps person. And from Evanston, which is like the far northern suburbs, I guess, of Chicago, if I were going to take a car to Hammond, it would be 58 minutes, about an hour. Not bad, to be honest. If I were on a freeway, and guys, let's make sure we understand the point is not to take a car, okay? If I were going to take ride transit or the train, bus, like people should be doing who live in cities, it would take 3 hours. I'm not even going to go over the stops. 3 hours. From Evanston to Soldier Field, that time would be, by car, 37 minutes. Again, the point is not to take a car. And by mass transit, that would be an hour and 30 minutes. So going to where I lived in Soldier Field, and again, I'm just walking. Where I lived in Soldier Field, if I wanted to take I didn't live in Soldier Field. Where I lived in the south side of Chicago, Harper Square Apartments, it would have taken 11 minutes by car. Okay. 26 minutes. They are under a fire ban, by the way. 26 minutes by mass transit. And let's just say I wanted to walk because it's a nice day. It would take 2 hours. Maybe I stop by a couple of adult establishments on the way, and I get there when I feel like getting there. I think someone's coming down the road. Let me get out the way. If I were going to go to, I'm not going to talk to myself while this person is driving past. So I'm going to stop this. All right. Stop the video because I didn't want to look like an idiot talking to myself holding the phone. So where were we? If I were to go from Harper Square Apartments to Hammond, and remind you that Harper Square Apartments is like kind of the northern south side. So was a little bit closer to Soldier Field than a lot of people in the further south side. But if I were going to go to Hammond, it would have taken 32 minutes by car. It will take an hour and 57 minutes by mass transit. And let's just say I wanted to walk. Oh no, don't have my car, I broke down, I want to see the Bears. It would take me 8 hours. So I remind us that the point is not to, take a car. The more people you can get in that stadium without taking a car, the better. I personally would hate to see a stadium growing up with Soldier Field. And I look at like Seattle Stadium. I mean, a lot of them in NFL could be better. But I think of these stadiums they should be more closer to like, European stadiums where, they're still big, but they're integrated into the city. Okay. The last thing I want to see is the bears pulling up to a concrete jungle with a mile of parking. Okay, that doesn't seem fun. I don't want them to like be like, oh yeah, F1's gonna come to Chicago. We're gonna race around the stadium. That's stupid. Okay. Yeah, so that's my thoughts. Okay, now I understand that, you know, Indiana is very much a part of the fan base. And I also realized, I mean, I was in Davenport, Iowa, and they were rooting for the Cubs. I get it. Okay, but I think we need to be practical about where we put the stadium. And in my opinion, they're just trying to go for a big stadium so they can host the Super Bowl. Okay, because let's be real, no one wants to host a Super Bowl at Soldier Field. Just like Lambeau, no one wants to host a Super Bowl at Lambeau. So that's my 2 cents. I'm probably gonna put some random shots of Rapid City in later after this. But yeah, if you agree, I don't care if you like it or not, because it's the truth. Peace. Bear down. I did not miss the ball. So there's a twister, and these animals are already terrified, and we're going to take the time to shoot them out of the air.